Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially health care. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi!
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
All right. So my friend Blaine Holt was talking about this earlier, and he has some fascinating thoughts. All right. He talks about all the wars, basically, so many wars that we've had, right? Fall of Rome, 9-Year War, American Revolution, Civil War, World War I, World War II. If you organize all of these as wars waged by the financial mavens, eventually the British Empire, against freedom-loving peoples, you can see a different untold history where those with real wealth and power bet on both sides, manipulating their way to increase infinite power and wealth, all at the expense of we the people. Global version. Kill billions, stealing trillions. In 2026, World War Next is a fifth-generation warfare where everything, especially information weaponry, is in play. Only hours into this very dangerous new chapter, into a war that many argue has lasted decades, there is little information presented to indicate whether the most consequential decision of the Trump presidency is trending to a great victory or a trap to ensnare a noble agenda. An intensive review of social media, mainstream press, open source intelligence sites will not offer that much in determining which of these two paths we are on. Now, why is that? In General Holt's opinion, there has never been a period where false information, propaganda, deep fakes, and censorship were more a part of the battle space. Perhaps the wisest perspective to assess the early moments of the Iranian campaign is not enough data available to assess. Yet, as the president announced Operation Epic Fury in the wee hours, the pre-written articles, social media posts, think tank papers were immediately dumped into the system. Before the jets returned, an interested reader or listener could read that President Trump was either the most brilliant and courageous wartime president, or that the U.S. was well on its way to an embarrassing quagmire that would bring humanity to the brink. In reality, the only thing we could determine from the first hours is that the president had in fact made a very serious, risk-laden decision whose outcome is not yet determined. One can easily couple up to their ideologically favorite news source and buy into a narrative that reinforces a bias, either pro or con, Trump good, Trump bad, etc. Those who adopt this will quickly assume that this is a U.S.-led Middle Eastern war with main belligerents being Iran and Israel. Who needs critical thinking when you have CNN? To subscribe to such simplicity, though, is to ignore the rest of the 5GW, like the fifth generation war, variables. Number one, rogue elements of the government, being the deep state. Number two, Epstein operations and fragmented disclosures. Number three, compromised politicians, judges, staffers, bureaucrats. NGO, laundered dark operations. UK resisting Venezuela and Iran operations. Digital Services Act, European Union. That's basically European censorship. European globalists resist Ukraine diplomatic end. The war on cartels, election fraud, US and Europe, COVID-19, and many more. None of these things live in separate silos. They are all interlocking puzzle pieces of World War Next. Are we looking at an undeclared war with Iran, or is it a more comprehensive war for the future of humanity, where the Trump administration takes on a craven city of London army of the most powerful who are deadly serious about their battle cry. You will own nothing and you will like it. If you think this enemy isn't serious about 15-minute cities, depopulation, and one world government, go look at the death toll in Ukraine. You've heard about the 15-minute city thing, right? You can get around any city on a bike in 15 minutes. I need to know more about that, but they want to kind of have a new world order that isn't natural. To date, not one globalist WEF-appointed European leader has lifted a finger to bring the war to an end. Quite the opposite. I'm talking about Ukraine now. Now, President Trump has been attacking at the very foundations of the most powerful, like the vascular system of the financial mavens, the drug cartels, whose tentacles enable all of their vast global crime empire. If you have departed the retail narrative, then think, where next is the World War next going? All right, this General Blaine functions at a pretty high level. They are desperate. President Trump has effectively put a fire blanket on no less than 8 potential global war flashpoints. Perhaps the highest imperative in the Trump strategy is to stop a false flag that ignites a much bigger war. Now back to Iran and Israel. As this very dangerous war in its infancy evolves, the financial mavens who have deep histories of betting on both sides could well seek to induce an event with rogue actors loyal to these global aims well before their own nations. If that is a concern of President Trump's, wouldn't it then make sense to send massive, overwhelming American power to the region to block any attempt to spiral the war to such a biblically prophesized place? There just isn't enough data yet. World War Next is nearly 400 years old. The real enemy, the ones whose families, wealth, and power seek to move we the people to checkmate, are pulling out all the stops to win now. President Trump is not a perfect man, but he is on the way. The Iran-Israel part of this ancient war could well be the final battle, which might possibly spawn civil wars, revolutions, financial collapse, and more. Perhaps we should all pause before we can discern success from failure. All right. That's pretty deep, but I can't figure out what the hell he's talking about. Mike, hello.
Greg, how are you? Real quick, Obama, when he gave him the billions in cash on the pallet, it reacted into Iran using terrorists to kill almost 1,000 of our soldiers. But these politicians, these hypocrites, are so outraged. Of course, it's very sad we lost 6 soldiers, but what they say is so ridiculous, and the hypocriticism is so obvious. It makes me sick.
Yeah, it makes you sick. I know. How you holding up otherwise?
Not too good. Remember we spoke and I told you with the catheterization, I lied to my doctor and they found some situation in there.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, vaguely. Oh, man. What are you lying to your doctor for?
Craig, I'm glad I did. I passed my nuclear stress test all these years, and I say they never look inside of me, so I lied, and they looked inside of me. I told them I was having chest pains. Thank God I lied, because the left main artery is 95% closed, and I got in one closed 98% in the back, and I never had any symptoms, and I'm going in Friday for open heart surgery.
Oh, my gosh. They got to open up. They got to open you up. They can't do it with a little thing?
No stents. No.
Friday?
Friday, brother.
Wait a second. Why the hell can't they do it with a little tube?
No, they can't, because it's the area where it's at. And my doctor said, you're young, you're strong. I'd rather fix it than just to put a Band-Aid on it, put some in there. Plus,
I think you need a second opinion.
3 opinions.
I don't know, man. All right. Well, listen, good luck. Damn. Every time you go under the knife and they open up your chest, it's like, anything could happen on the operating table. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I'm worried about it, but I'd rather, listen, I'll get new plumbing. I'll be good.
Whatever you do, don't donate your organs. All right. Make it quite clear that you don't want to donate your organs. Therefore, you're less, you're more valuable alive than dead.
I got you, Glenn. I got you, Greg.
I don't know about that. Maybe you should donate your organs if you genuinely die. I'm sure your guy is good. One more thing about that. How old are you?
62.
62. That's too young for this kind of thing. All right. Well, listen, good luck. We'll say a prayer and give us a call once it's done, okay?
Okay, pal. Take care.
All right. Wow. Open heart surgery. Yikes. You don't hear about that as much anymore. Silas is the man's name. Hello.
Yeah. I tell you, the thing on, as far as...
What are you taking the family to the beach? What's going on?
No.
What is that? I hear some kid laughing. What are you guys doing?
No, that's the phone ring. That's the other phone. But anyway, in Iraq, it's damn good he went there. And believe me, Cuba's also going to come in line. And just like anything we do in life, you know, everything is a risk, from stepping out into the street to going to the moon. But what he's done is a good thing in general for all the, all the countries involved, especially America and Israel. So he's a courageous man. And the difference with him is he's already been a billionaire. He doesn't have to try to become a billionaire in office. He's doing good for the country. All right, pal. Yep. Cuba, I don't think we want to invade Cuba. I think we just want that thing to kind of disintegrate on its own, hopefully. They might as well embrace freedom. Thank you, sir, very, very much, Silas. John, hello. Is he
Greg,
there?
good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Greg. Hi, Greg. This is John from Yonkers, and I have two questions for you. One, regarding 10-10 wins, have you ever noticed the inherent bias against President Trump on a daily basis? And my second question, do you ever think that we will ever in the tri-state area get another AM radio station, all news, because I miss 880? Your answers, please.
Well, I am not shocked that they are biased. I stopped listening to 10-10 Wins about 7 or 8 years ago. I used to listen to it, a lot. Every morning, at least, in the morning, I would do a thing. I'd listen to the 880 and I go back and forth, 880 and 10-10 Wins. And if I did it carefully enough, I could get the national news and the local news, keep going back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, I'm not surprised that they're biased. Wait, 10-10 Wins. Didn't one of them go off the air? Are they both on the air still? 10-10's on the air. What about CBS 880? They were off the air, right?
Yeah, they're off the air, right. And I'm surprised no one else stepped up to the plate.
Look, WABC, we got all your AM radio needs right here. But there are a million different ways to get your messaging or whatever, get your information. Some people bitch and moan about, I just want facts. I don't want opinion. Well, everybody basically kind of has the facts, right? I call it digital osmosis because of our phones, because there are televisions everywhere and we got everybody basically has an awareness of what's happening, right? So it's 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night. I don't necessarily need a guy to say this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, and this happened. Now, I want to know, what does it mean? Give me context, give me perspective, tell me something about it I don't know that everyone else is talking about. So, look, I'm not, to 880. I did like it while it existed, but, haven't listened to it many years before they pulled the plug, and the same goes for 10-10 Wins. Thank you, John. I shall return momentarily.
Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially health care. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.